Hey everybody, we're back in the kitchen. Yep, we're gonna do something. It's not a meal this time. It's just, I know that we've all been closed in and you're probably starting to have some of your fruit that you bought a few weeks ago or a week or two ago start to go bad. And one in particular that goes bad that we can actually recoup really wonderfully is your apples. And homemade applesauce is such a fun farm home staple. So as you can see, I've already got it cooking here on the back of the stove, but I'll show you how to prepare your apple. This is not the right kind of apple, and it's the only one that's left in the house because I took all the ones that I showed you last night in the bowl that were going bad, and I put them in there already, but I wanted to show you just in case somebody doesn't know how to prepare your apple. Usually I use a paring knife like this because I don't want to waste, I just want it to skim. I don't want to waste a lot of the apple. So, but if I'm in a hurry, I use my paring knife, and I'm afraid that I probably cut a little too deeply sometimes. But anyways, take all your skin off. Very simple. You're gonna take all the skin off, and you don't need to wash them at this point because your skin's coming off. So take them all, take it all off, and then cord your apple in 4 cords. Take out your seeds and just dip in there in that little boat. I call it a little boat or whatever, right there, right where when you see that you're done, of course this is the wrong kind of apple, you're all set. And then when you get to that point, you cut it in pieces like this. Just like you'd see going in an apple pie or something. So your whole apple ends up like that. And that's how I cut the apples up, and I put them in this pan. And when they were standing on their own, they almost filled the whole container here, but as you can see, they're cooking down now. When you have however many, you can cook 10 apples, 2 apples, 5 apples. You don't have to waste any of them, even just a couple of apples. And what you do is, no matter how many apples that you cook, you add 1/3 of the volume of water. Like, you pull it aside like this and you put water in it, and you just see till it's 1/3 of however many apples you have. Just put 1/3 of the water into it, not a half, not a whatever. If you do accidentally put too much water in it, don't worry. You can cook them longer than they need to be cooked because you're basically just going to be evaporating the too much water that's in there. These are almost ready for us. I'm making home style. I'm not making it, you can take it one step further than I am, and you can put it in a mill, and you can get all of the lumps out. I love home style. I love farm cooking. I love home style, and I love to have my applesauce have the bits and the pieces. I do not like it to be smooth like you buy in a grocery store. I actually do not like applesauce like that at all. So that's not how this is going to end up. But if you want to make your applesauce, then take that one more step and you have that mill. Sure enough, when we're done, take your bowl and put the mill over it and put it in there and just press it down, and it'll all be smooth just like the store. You can see here there's still a little water on top of this. I'm going to cook it a little bit longer because it's a little too much water still on here. And you can tell if the apples are all cooked. It's going to look a lot like the filling to an apple pie. It's going to cook down like that. It's going to be mushy, but it's still going to hold its own. These pieces are still going to hold their own pretty well. That's what farm style applesauce is all about. We're almost done this part of it, but I'm going to let it cook a little bit longer. And yes, I am cooking close to high, so I'm standing next to it. The rest of the ingredients are really simple. It's just sugar. And a lot of people don't like cinnamon in their applesauce, so they don't go any farther. They just do sugar. I, however, love cinnamon in mine, but not a ton of it, so we will be adding sugar and cinnamon. So, as you can see, I think we're pretty darn close to done here. I don't want to have you stand here watching me just stirring this pot, so that's why I had cooked it ahead of time most of the way. The whole cooking of this apples, it takes like 10 minutes to cook your apples down. It's so quick, especially if you're up towards high, which I am obviously. It takes about 10 minutes to cook the apples totally. And so actually we're pretty much all set here. Because see how, look at how it started out like this. The pieces were good and heavy, and how we still can see some of those pieces that were bigger. But you can see a lot of it's getting mushy, mushy, mushy right now. You're in a good place right there. And see how you don't have, you do want to have some liquid left in your applesauce. You don't want it to be dry. So see how you want to leave a little bit of that water? So, I mean, probably Yeah, I'm done. I mean, I can see that it's, see when I do this, I can see how it mushes down. You're completely cooked. You're ready. So from here, I literally just put it in my bowl. I mean, if you're like a lot of households that don't know what to do with them afterwards, and we can learn a lot of other things to do with apples. I mean, I make apple pies all the time. There's a lot of different things we can do. I start by just, again, me, you know how I do this. I don't measure, so I just do what I know, because I've made this a lot of times. I just kind of sprinkle some on the top and do the same thing with cinnamon. Sprinkle it on the top. Whoops, that was a lot more than I intended. That just fell in there. That was a big
sprinkle.
Yeah, that was a big sprinkle. And that's, I'm going to take some off because I'm not a big cinnamon person. And probably the funny thing is, after I taste it, I'll probably add a little bit more, because that probably wasn't as much as I thought it was, but it looked like a lot when it fell in. Anyways, you just stir it in. That's all there is to it. And then I'm going to taste it to see, because the thing about applesauce is you're controlling how you like it. If you're a person who really loves that sweet, never just like say, oh, it takes a cup of sugar, or it takes 2/3 of a cup of sugar, or a third. You're not cutting any set amount of apples. You're just looking in your bowl like I did last night and said, oh, these apples are going by. So today I think I cut 10 or 11 of them. And I don't have an equivalency for you that says 10 or 11 apples equals 1/3 a cup of sugar or whatever. So start out small. That's the secret to this. Start out with just a little bit. You saw me sprinkling just a little on it. Start out that way. You can always add more, but you can't take away. So if you've made too much sweetness in it, you can't get it out of there, and so you'll either have to make another batch to add to it, or you'll just have to eat really sweet applesauce that you don't care for. So here, look at the coloring in that. It's magnificent. And on the first shot, I got it right. I had enough. I think there's enough. I just sprinkled, lightly like this. You can see, just sprinkled it. It's a little bit tart, so I probably will add a smidge more sugar, but it's a perfect cinnamon. Look at how that's, I'm going to get it under the light. Look at how that's a very light, beautiful brown like that. And this is a perfect way to use your apples that are going by, and you're not going to throw them away. You're just going to split and cord them. I mean, split and cord, whatever. I'm sounding like wood now. We're splitting and cording. But look how pretty that is. And that's so you don't waste. A very simple 15-minute act that'll keep you from throwing your apples away. If you want, let me know. I can teach you how to make an apple pie. I can teach you how to do anything like that. But today was just going to be a quick little thing on how to retrieve some fruit that might have been going bad, because like me, I had all those apples. I have a daycare normally, so those would have been eaten. And now I was sitting here panicking. Well, I didn't panic, but I would have been panicking saying, oh my God, these apples are going to go to waste. And now they did not, because I've given them another purpose. So tomorrow, come back into the kitchen with me tomorrow, because tomorrow we're going to do something really fun. I'm going to show you how to make restaurant quality, no, I retract that, better than restaurant quality potato skins. So I'll see you back in this kitchen tomorrow. If you want to know the ingredients, it's just going to be potatoes, mozzarella cheese, bacon bits, butter, and that's it. So I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.